Tonight, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson making the case on her own behalf, the start of a historic confirmation hearing to become the first black woman on the nation's highest court.
I hope that you will see how much I love our country and the Constitution and the rights that make us free.
With her husband wiping away a tear and her daughters seated nearby, Jackson also thanked her parents, both former school teachers, there with her today.
They gave me an African name, Ketanji Onyeka, which they were told means lovely one. Unlike the many barriers that they had to face growing up, my path was clearer, so that if I worked hard and I believed in myself in America, I could do anything or be anything I wanted to be.
The 51-year-old who was confirmed less than a year ago as a federal appeals court judge is likely to face tougher scrutiny now, including from Lindsey Graham, one of 3 Republicans who voted to confirm her then.
I want to know about your judicial philosophy, because people on the left, the far extreme part of the left, believe that you were the best bet. And I want to know why they reached that conclusion.
And Republican Josh Hawley previewing a line of attack, accusing Jackson of being soft on crime, highlighting her sentencing decisions in child pornography cases.
In every case, in each of these 7, Judge Jackson handed down a lenient sentence that was below what the federal guidelines recommended and below what prosecutors requested.
But Democrats highlighting that Jackson's nomination has been endorsed by numerous law enforcement officials and the Fraternal Order of Police.
She hails from a law enforcement family, and no, she's not soft on crime.
And hailing her groundbreaking selection.
This is not a normal day for America. We have never had this moment before.
If confirmed, Jackson pledging to be independent and neutral.
Thank you for this historic chance to join the highest court, to work with brilliant colleagues, to inspire future generations, and to ensure liberty and justice for all.
And Peter, today the judge was essentially introducing herself to the committee. Tomorrow, though, is the hot seat.
Yeah, that's right. It could get contentious, too, Lester. But remember, these hearings are very likely to end in Judge Jackson's confirmation, because if Senate Democrats stay united, they can confirm her without a single Republican vote.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.